Two unemployed actors, two unemployed actors. They're just between projects.
Welcome back to Two Unemployed Actors. I'm Max.
I'm Sam.
And we have a bit of a coronavirus special, kind of. And you know, the way it's impacted the arts, and certainly here in Australia, and certainly us as individuals, as artists.
Yes.
And a bit of an update on what we've been up to in the last week.
And what we won't be up to in the next couple of months.
Indeed, it's been quiet. Which leads us nicely into coronavirus. First of all, the disclaimer for coronavirus. If you're tuning in for health advice, no, we're not going to give health updates on
we're
the
not
coronavirus.
going to be unemployed actors giving health updates on
the
coronavirus.
extent of our knowledge there is basically what we're being updated to by the media, and it's kind of panic coronavirus media at the moment.
And how it's affecting the creative industries.
Indeed. So
many industries, but especially the creative ones as well.
I mean, on the front line, the first to feel the effects, you know, people going out to eat, people going out to go to concerts, people going out to festivals. Festivals have been canned. A lot of the arts have closed. Performances. The Melbourne Theatre Company, the Sydney Theatre Company, you know, these are environments where you've got well over 500 people. The advice to date, the date being Tuesday the 17th here in Sydney, at the moment is gatherings over 500 people are a no-no.
Which is a suggestion, but yes.
It's I think it's going to be, it's I mean, they're enforcing the 14-day isolation for those who just travel overseas or have symptoms or are diagnosed. There's fines if you're caught out and about. I was thinking,
like, how are they measuring that? But then also it's a $13,000 fine or jail time.
Yeah,
or something
and
like
I think really you've got to be thick to get out and about and start, you know.
Or just selfish.
And exactly, a lot of selfish people because of the panic buying is just crazy. I mean, for some reason, I mean, we make toilet paper in nearly every state and territory in Australia. We make it here locally, and people are out raiding the shelves.
We import it.
It's crazy, and I mean, I'm actually down to 1.5 rolls. It's serious. I haven't stockpiled. I'm
sitting left.
Oh, it's not that messy. Unless I get the liquid poo explosions, and I'm not planning on having food poisoning. So, touch wood, it should last me. Hot tip from the local service station, though. They're getting a delivery tonight, and I'll be there tomorrow morning after my early morning swim.
Oh, God.
Ride in on the Vespa and get one of their bulk packs.
And bread. Bread's all gone. Dad asked me to pick up bread the other day.
It's weird.
Nowhere.
I went into 2 supermarkets. One, there's no bread, there's heaps of pasta. The other one, no pasta and heaps of bread. So I don't know. People are just, it depends on who's buying.
Because bread, I mean, everyone eats bread, but it's also not.
It's crazy. And we've had footage from some, and you know, the 1%ers, the crazy ones, you know, fighting over toilet paper. I know a guy got tased in a Big W supermarket because he was becoming quite violent as a result of not getting the toilet paper he wanted.
So here's what I don't understand. It's not a virus that causes you to...
It's the panic.
Beep. I'm putting a beep there.
It's like a zombie apocalypse.
It's not...
The zombies are kind of okay. They're predictable.
My dad's
it's the people you're worried about.
Get my guns. We'll get ready for the apocalypse.
Well, have you seen in America the queues at gun shops for survival gear and weapons?
In case people come in and try to steal toilet paper.
At least we're fighting over toilet paper.
Yeah. Yeah.
It could be worse, but
no, my dad actually said the other day, he's like, go check above the fridge, and I checked above the fridge, and there's a couple things like olive oil and some like milk that doesn't go off if it's not in the fridge, and I drink soy milk.
You're special.
Yeah.
because it's a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle choice.
No, it's for my skin and all that stuff. It is also a choice.
I have to stay beautiful.
Cut it. No. Honestly, because
all the time I spend editing and color grading our amazing footage that we receive every podcast for nothing. I didn't need to because you drink soy and brilliant skin.
Exactly. There we go. No, because I used to have very bad cystic acne, and it seemed to help because people said dairy can sometimes affect that. Anyway, and I look in the cupboard and there's no soy. I'm like, so I'm not drinking coffee during the apocalypse. You guys can drink it. I won't have it then.
Horrible.
For sure.
I mean, you've got to start your day right. Otherwise, it's all going to hell. My coffee machine's kaput. It's gone back for the third time. It's like, can you just fix it the first time? And every time I turn up, it could be the water. I'm like, what do you mean it could be the water? Oh, you know, when you change water, it could sometimes do... I don't even know if she knew what she was talking about, but I'm like, no, you told me that last time. It's not. It could be a blocked pipe. I'm like, yeah, it could be, but you said that 3 times, so
why don't you
whatever
check
it
what
is,
it is?
check it and then fix it because I paid for it to be fixed. I paid 100% of the invoice to get it fixed. I'd expect 100% of the work to be done. I'm okay. I'll get it back.
I reckon you left the seatbelt on it after you took the photo.
I need to. Anyway,
Did you leave the seatbelt?
I did. Yes, I put it in the car and I put the seatbelt on it because
and you left it.
This is my precious baby. If I don't start the day with my cappuccino made with my Pavoni machine, it's not going to be a good day.
Gets to max.
I'm getting to this old man creature of habit moment, and then Fred sits on the lap, and then we have our thing.
That's cute.
Isn't that right, Fred? We have our moment of relaxing before the day kicks in, which is good in the current environment because back to the virus. So lots of arts things being cancelled, lots of big festivals being cancelled.
And I don't think people understand how much of an impact it has on people because a lot of people obviously do this full time, a lot of crew, and a lot of like food trucks do purely festivals or events. And with all them cancelled, all their income that was lined up for months is now gone.
That's right. In the arts world, in the entertainment business, it's project to project for most of us. Yeah. And as the projects, as the projects are getting removed, that's it. You've got to last as long as your bank balance can. We had a notification from the Casting Guild of Australia to all the agents suggesting that we're going to stagger our auditions now so that we minimise any large group of actors waiting altogether. So they'll have more distance apart between, I should say, the auditions to make that easier.
Yeah, I messaged my agent today about how's everything going. He's like, it's quiet. It's going to be quiet for a bit.
They'll also...
don't touch any strangers.
No, don't touch strangers. Don't kiss strangers. They'll also have use Skype and self-tapes a lot more. And when it comes to the elderly, they're trying to go to them or get self-tapes if they can, rather than have a whole lot of people in a rating room that are vulnerable. Which makes sense. Yeah. But of course, that's for those few projects that are still moving forward. And the next thing you think of is, because vulnerable society, you've got hospitality. Hospitality is normally what you fall back on when you come to when it comes to your plan B, your survival job in the arts. And that's immediately affected. I have a feeling any minute now, there's going to be another announcement tomorrow, and I have a feeling it's going to be for gatherings below 500. It's going to say, probably in line with the United States at the moment, any gatherings over 10.
Is it 10 for the United States?
Yeah,
already?
at the moment. So I have a feeling that's imminent. At the moment, the directive for me in my production of Lipstick, in the production of Lipstick for the No Intermission Festival is we're still playing on. These are theatres that have around 50 seats, and we can stagger the seats apart and all that sort of stuff. And a lot of the small theatres like the New Theatre, they're progressing at the moment based on the current advice. Hand sanitizers everywhere. They leave the doors open so people can mull outside and inside rather than putting everyone together, and keep all the seats apart so that everyone's got that social distancing thing happening. But I have a feeling any minute, and we're still moving forward. Like I'm still, working on getting off book and analysing the character, and it's going to happen eventually, wherever it happens. But I have a feeling that April-May production might be pushed. But
like we were talking about before, like you're pretty lucky, or voiceover people are pretty lucky because you do it from your own home most of the time.
Well, look, we're at the end of the day, if a project isn't going to move forward, it's not going to need the editor. It's not going to need the sound guy. It's not going to need the voiceovers. It's not going to need
it's a bunch of people at work.
And people, what tends to happen in the blue chips is your first thing you cut is your advertising and PR budgets because you're trying to cut costs and trim. So new projects coming to light are going to be fewer. Having said that, though, it's great that I've diversified. I've got my little home office sorted. I know there's been a run on monitors and desks and all that as more people are working from home now, so that's another side effect. But look, there's also studios that aren't operating at capacity, and as a result, there's more opportunity for people like me who can do voiceover studio quality from a home studio environment and save having to book a studio or avoid going into contact with lots of people.
Lucky.
So
lucky. Podcast is going to go on through
the podcast will survive even if we're in self-isolation. You can still dial in now, which is great.
If we're in
if worse comes to worse,
if we're in self-isolation, we'll just cop it and I'll come here.
Well, you know what? We'll probably end up doing 2 podcasts a day if we've got nothing else.
Yeah.
Get ready for a flurry of podcasts.
The apocalypse and stuff.
And it's
there's like zombie apocalypse movies where it's like the radio's on and there's some guy still sitting there. That's going to be us.
Absolutely. Even if no one's listening, we'll still be broadcasting.
We'll be tackling out people trying to get our toilet paper while we're still podcasting.
Until all the podcast platforms go down, we'll be there.
We'll be at the top because we'll be the last one.
I reckon. Fred, don't get violent.
No violence.
So so it's definitely for those of us who are able to diversify. Absolutely, it's a win. But look, it's going to be a bit tough moving forward. So at the moment, sometimes you think this is the time where people need to get out and about and distract themselves, but with a virus that no one's immune to, it's a bit difficult.
Well, let's on a lighter note. speaking of theatre from
Please.
before, speaking of lipstick and stuff, I am in a show now.
Congratulations. Is it a musical?
It is a musical.
Ah.
It's Spring Awakening.
Right. No. Oh, no. 3 weeks in spring. Different.
Yeah, no.
Just the only similarity is the word spring.
3
Come on,
weeks in
Maxie.
Spring. I was in the last 5 years. Spring Awakening. Very
Spring
confusing.
Awakening.
My dad was like, how's 5 Seconds of Summer or whatever it is, the band.
5 seconds of summer.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, it was a classic. No, so it's Spring Awakening. It's UNSW, and as far as we know, UNSW is going ahead with this production. So whether we have to move or not, like
What's
at this
their
point,
theatre capacity? What's their
Studio One? It's about 60 people.
Okay.
So, but here's the story. So this was one that Jess auditioned for a week ago or so.
Okay. This actual
A week
production.
or so ago. Yeah, this is actual production. I didn't audition. I didn't want to audition.
Right.
The music I wasn't like I'm not a fan of, and I was then kind of like, do I like it'll be fun? It's a uni production. My friends, a bunch of my friends are in it. I've done one before. I've done other stuff. Like it'll be a fun, chill time. I didn't end up doing it, and then Jess was like, text me after the read through and was like, they're looking for Hunshin,
Right.
like another male character.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh really? Okay, can we talk about it when you get home? So I was thinking about it, still thinking about it, and then without her saying a thing, she actually got a message from the producer saying, hey, would Sam be interested in playing Hunshin?
Well done.
Yeah.
Sometimes the stars do align.
Yeah. And I know this guy. We've done Dogfight together and stuff.
Oh, right.
And the director also knows me through UNSW. We all know each other.
I mean, it's a small world anyway,
It
let
is.
alone musical theatre.
And then also within a uni as well.
Yeah.
So then I was like, okay, well, this kind of like, it's very flattering and very nice, and maybe it would be cool. And
Have you done this musical before? Any of the songs from it? Okay.
It's very rock kind of like vibe, and it's a very sexual musical. It's about it's Spring Awakening. It's about teenagers discovering that.
Mm-hmm.
But so I was like, oh, there's funny weird scenes for this character, and like they'll be funny, they'll be fun. I'll laugh. I have friends in it, and I'm starting to actually enjoy the music a bit more, and I'm seeing the plot as more funny.
Okay.
But even if I hated it,
Yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't be great to do it. But even if I didn't like it that much, I can do it for fun and hang out with friends. I have a supporting role. Jess has a supporting role. We're not in the leads.
It's going to be a fun experience.
Exactly.
Keep practicing your craft.
Exactly. We're not in the leads this time, so we can kind of be a bit more chill and hang out and laugh. But this character has a gay kiss on stage, my character.
Right. Okay.
It would be with one of my friends, one of my kind of good friends.
Right.
So that was another thing that I had to consider.
And also the coronavirus effect.
I know. Well, that's the thing with theatre shows as well.
They've already, part of the, I think one of the notifications came through is, here's how we're adjusting for the safety of the patrons.
Yeah.
But also for the safety of the cast, we're minimising rehearsals and sometimes reblocking when it comes to intimate moments.
Well, we'll see. But this whole production is intimate. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But so I had to consider that, but I thought it would be good, and he was comfortable, and so messaged the producer and I said, guess what? I'd love to do it. Like, what do I do next? And he's like, well, you're in. And it's sort of kind of almost like a skip.
Well done. Well, it helps when you've worked with people before. And
they know how
you know how they work too, and so you can sort of go in and go, you know what, I can, because you're dedicating a lot of time when it comes to stage work.
Yeah, especially unpaid stage work.
Indeed, and so you want to know you're going to get some value out of it. And
it's very flattering. He said, like, of course we'd love to have him on board. He's a couple of my friends don't know that I'm in it yet, and I want to leave that a surprise. So I'm going to turn up to rehearsal and be like, hello.
Fancy meeting you here.
Yeah, exactly. What the hell are you doing here?
And just touch wood that no one in the cast ends up with the corona.
Well, that's the thing. Oh, here's another story. Okay, so UNSW has had a couple cases now of positive. So here's the thing. They emailed staff first. This particular email that I'm about to say, they emailed staff first and then the students. But someone had posted the staff email on the UNSW discussion group, so everyone saw it. But it was just saying that most classes will move to online now. We're going to try and, there's been a positive cases. There's guys in hazmat suits cleaning up the business building or whatever it was, doing all this stuff. And they said that. But they sent the email the other morning, and the night before was the census cutoff date. So now everyone can't drop out. And that's when you couldn't choose to drop out, and now you still have to pay. They did it after that.
Okay, it's interesting.
Because it's a business first.
Yes,
yeah, so that's not very cool. And, they had all this information. They knew this happened weeks ago.
mentioned the mockumentary last week.
Oh yes.
Look.
Oh yes. Yes.
I understand his vision, and I understand.
Never good when it starts.
I understand his vision. Understand what he wants to achieve. There is just a million ways to muck it up. So.
Oh shit. Sorry.
So if it all comes together, it can be really interesting. And I'll certainly, at the very least, be able to get some moments for the showreel, which are very, very different. You know, playing this guy who's obviously had a tough thing happen at some stage, and he's gone from a steady job to vulnerable, homeless, with underlying mental health issues, and there's lots of creative shots with lots of weird things happening. Yeah, as he protects the alleyway from aliens and all sorts of things. So
it's very bizarre.
Correct.
Okay.
And so I get what his goal is. I'm in line with the vision. Absolutely. It's just going to be interesting to see what happens. So that's in post at the moment. I had an offer for a lead in. It was another detective show. Yes. I turned it down because. Look, it's a good lead. You're running around with a gun, that sort of stuff. It's great. But I mean, there's just so many shirt and ties with Maxi yelling at people. I'm just like, I want to, like the last character was in the mockumentary is well off balance.
So did you get offered this lead?
Yeah.
From AFTT again?
No, I can't remember where it was from actually.
They
but
knew
from
you
a different
somehow.
one. Yeah, or from online work or something. I don't know. From someone who's someone who's
right.
someone who's someone. Work sometimes gets more work. You know how it goes. But what I thought is it's far too similar to stuff that I've done even recently. Like the interrogation came out last week, and that's me as a detective, suit and tie, blah blah, yelling and jumping around. Yeah. And then the one I did next, which is yet to come out, The Taking, is Crazy Max, or is he crazy and everything
Victor,
is actually happening? So playing Victor, again, very different from, Shirt and Tie Max playing the businessman, lawyer, doctor.
I looked up your IMDb and there's a bunch of stuff on there. Do you ask them to put it up on IMDb or do they generally do it?
This is interesting because I'm dealing with a professional production company. Okay, the fact that it's young, the fact that it's a couple of guys, one's a prolific writer, also director, the other guy's a great director and producer. So the fact that they're young means nothing to me. It's the work. You look at the work and go, this is really interesting. I can see myself playing this. And the fact that they just graduated, a couple of years ago, means that, in fact, it means more that they're still, instead of just going to survival jobs and then maybe a production company and blah, 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 and get to direct for the first time 6 years later, they just keep on producing. And I think that's really cool. That's really cool.
And they're just putting it up on IMDb.
So a part of that is the professional image. And so they're putting, I actually thanked them. I said, thanks for... I said a note to Jacob just last week. Thanks for putting The Taking, which is the Victor one, on IMDb because it does mean a lot,
Do you edit your IMDb account or is that done?
I do.
You? So you put your own photo in?
Yeah. I've got a professional IMDb Pro membership.
Yeah.
So I can be in control.
It costs money, doesn't it?
It does indeed, like in most
Well,
things.
like classic.
But it's valuable because IMDb is kind of like the go-to for people at times, and it's very searchable. It's SEO friendly, as you would say, if you're Googlish, so that you tend to put your name in. That's what sort of comes up. Yeah. So lots of photos of the usual headshots, screen grabs of different shoots, behind the scenes, and a red carpet here or there.
Yes, the red carpet.
And a video. My showreel is up there, whatever my latest showreel. Just some of the credits. You're also allowed to put credits that aren't verified. So they changed that last year, I think. Normally, like everything has to be verified, and there's a difference. Because it means something. And hence why I'm grateful they put those productions up there because they did happen. Yes, it was a professional production, and yes, I'm grateful for the credit on IMDb. But you can also put other stuff up there, like some theatre work and stuff as well, to pad it out a bit as you do. And it just notates that it's not verified, but it's well worth doing because it's kind of a go-to. But like I said a couple of podcasts ago, I've got a list of stuff to update when I get a new show reel, a new photo. It's like I've got to update Showcast, Custom Networks, video, Vimeo, but IMDb is at the top of the list. Yeah, and for a reason.
Actors have to constantly do that. Anyway.
You have to, and it's a job.
That's not going to change.
And it's a job in itself. And for me, it's a part of the social media job. Yeah. So if I get new headshots, first thing I'll do, as an example, so new material. In this case, the example is new headshots. I will look at those headshots and get the photographer's pics, like there might be half a dozen that they really like, isolate them, and then I'll make them social media friendly, size-wise and whatever, and then I'll have a schedule as to when to, so you don't get all the headshots on the same day, same week, same month even, and on Facebook and all the rest of it, update as soon as on all my profiles and make sure I've got them the right ones I like and in the right order and that sort of stuff. Yeah. And you know, it takes time, it takes effort, and it's easy to fall behind. But I think there's nothing worse. Like we want to give everyone every possible reason to hire you because there are so many at times not to. So if they turn to the computer and type your name in, you want some stuff to come up. Like if it's your website, you want it to be in date. You want it to be current. If it's in, have your latest productions and links to and stuff. Yeah. And photos that match the business card, that match the IMDb, that match the showcast, that match, you know. So
it's not a good look if it's not up to date. So.
And the other thing I've got to check is because my agent's pretty good at making changing the headshot every now and then just to keep it fresh because you've got the same headshot for like a year or something. You know, production companies can still go, oh, him again. So keep it fresh. And I've got to keep current on that because I don't want them to send out my profile for a submission and get the job and I turn up and it's the one with me with a beard, or I'm clean shaven and I've got a beard as I turn up. Like I want to be that guy who looks like the headshot.
Okay. Yeah.
So I note that down unless I've got it for another production that's already confirmed and it's a paid gig. You know, I'm not going to shave for an audition or something, but depending on what it is. But so it's like it's a part of managing your small business, managing your brand. Is it a consistent and updated brand? Sometimes not the most exciting part. Like we all want to be performing on stage and in front of the camera, but if it helps you get more of those opportunities,
why not?
Brilliant. Fred, keep it together, mate. Tom Hanks, we tried to kill Tom Hanks here in Australia. I know he was at Bondi last week, and then I think he should have gone to Bronte. That's the biggest mistake. But, you know, we talked about productions coming to a halt. Baz Luhrmann's production of the Elvis, you know, the big Elvis biopic here in Australia has been postponed for at least a couple of weeks. I have a feeling it's going to be postponed for a bit longer than that. We're also seeing lots of movies being pushed back.
Yeah.
The
new James Bond one has been pushed
Quiet Place
back.
2, James Bond, you're right, and many others. And there's going to be a glut as it comes to this, you know, 6 months' time or 8 months' time, 9 months' time when the movies that were due to be slated for production now can't be released. You know, suddenly so you've got quiet cinemas now and quiet cinemas later. Well, I know in most countries the cinemas are closed. In most countries, I think some countries, like, you know, off the top of my head, America and Italy and some of the hardest affected places to try and get on top of it. I think, you know, the biggest message for me to get all deep and meaningful at the moment, if you're an artist and you are project to project, you're not alone. Don't be afraid to put your hand up and ask for help. You know, even if it's just to have a chat with someone.
Yeah.
Because you're not alone. Like everyone's going through it, and it can be a really lonely business sometimes, especially if you are by default on your own in between projects, and the projects are well spaced apart, or you don't even know where the next opportunity is going to come from, as your whole, you know, opportunity to invoice has been cancelled one after the other. Don't be afraid to put your hand up, have a chat, because people are in the same situations.
Email us, all our contact info.
100%, because you know, it's also dare I say the word opportunity, but it's also an opportunity to work on your craft and, you know, pick up a few monologues, work on a few self-tapes, like, you know, keep work fit. It's constructive. It's moving forward. You can still use it, and it takes your mind off sitting there going, when is my next opportunity going to come from at the moment, you know, in virus world. So, it's just, I mean, we've never been here before. So it's a new world at the moment that we're all living, and everyone, you know, needs to stay safe. Big news, the Millennium Falcon, Lego Millennium Falcon that I've been diligently working on. Anyone would take a look at it and think I've been in self-isolation for 14 days, but no, it's just a hell of a lot of fun.
Imagine what he could do.
I know.
With 14 days self-isolation.
I know. I've got 4 bags of Lego left. I'll do the big reveal, and it's going to be a great prop, great movie prop for our podcast.
You're all stocking up on toilet paper. Max is stocking up on Lego.
And ice cream.
I mean, fair enough.
For some reason, I forgot I had ice cream, and I bought more ice cream. And then I ordered pizza. And then they were late, and I rang them up, and they delivered me 2 pizzas. So I've actually got an oversupply of pizza and ice cream, all the essentials you need, and Lego.
And gym.
And yes, and I went to the gym. Wow. Well, I mean, it wasn't crowded, but I think, you know, you try not to touch your face, and you keep washing your hands, and they've got antibacterial wipes everywhere, so it's okay. Yeah. It's probably the cleanest it's ever been.
No, actually, I was a real quick tangent thing. I was watching The Game Changers ages ago as a thing I brought up maybe a couple times.
I'll pretend to remember.
No, it wasn't on The Game Changers. No, I just watched Arnold Schwarzenegger on a YouTube video. Anyway.
You were watching something somewhere at some time.
But Arnold Schwarzenegger said he doesn't wash his hands after the gym, and he makes his morning smoothie afterwards.
Do you know that for a fact?
Well, this is what he said.
Oh.
So it's probably, I don't know if it's true, but he's like,
what's his morning smoothie? Has it got vodka in it?
probably. And he's like, because you need that B12.
Right.
And he gets it from the grime or something. I don't even know.
Well, I mean, it does build up. Look, it does build up your immunity. I mean, the world is full of germs, and there's germs all over the place, and that helps your immune system.
I guess it's B12 in
But with the coronavirus, there is no immunity to it.
No, this was ages ago. Don't worry about it. He probably started it though. But
I want to be like Schwarzenegger. I'm not going to wash my hands after the gym.
Yeah.
And make my smoothie. One of the best scenes ever. Postcards from the Edge.
Yeah.
Based on Carrie Fisher's life.
Okay.
She wrote the book and did the screenplay, I think, as well.
Wow.
Really funny. Meryl Streep, Shirley MacLaine, classic actors. And there's a moment where they're having this huge fight as mother and daughter. Mm-hmm. And Shirley MacLaine's busy putting the fruit in to make the smoothie, and they're having this huge. And Meryl Streep's screaming, and they're going at each other like they've done a million times. Meryl Streep walks out. As soon as the door closes, Shirley MacLaine just opens the top cupboard, pours the vodka into the smoothie, puts the lid on it, and presses the button, and just stands there looking. I'm like, that is absolutely brilliant. There's plenty of mornings I felt like doing that.
Oh yes, we still need our drunk podcast. We'll do it soon. During quarantine, we'll do it.
During quarantine, I've got a plenty supply of alcohol too. So all
pizza,
essentials I
pizza.
need.
That's all we need.
Alcohol, pizza, ice cream, and Lego.
That's it.
I mean, hello. I'd like to be in quarantine for 14 days. Give me a reason. All right, that's it. I'm done.
That's the game. Yeah.
You've been listening to Two Unemployed Actors. I'm Max.
I'm Sam.
Make sure you follow us on all your favourite social media platforms and subscribe.
And your least favourite ones too.
Any of them.
Why not?
All of them. Bye.
Bye.
Two unemployed actors.